Okay, a lot of you have asked me since I did my last carving about why don't I do a video on doing a flintlock weapon. So I thought I'd do that. So here are some photographs that I pulled off the web to help me when I did my pistols and rifle. And if you just do a Google search on the web, you'll find just literally tons and tons of photographs of these weapons. And you can just pick out the one you want to use and use it. And believe me, it's the way we're going to do it. It's very easy to do. Okay, so this is what I used right here. Here's the pistol that I made my flintlock from, and there's my hand. Well, that's not my hand. There's the hand and the basic pose that I used to hold it. And to do that, to come up with that, to get a good idea of how this actually looks from just about every angle, I was thinking about it out in the kitchen one morning when I was getting ready for breakfast, and I saw that banana laying there, and I said, well, gee whiz, you know, right there, there's what I'm looking for. So I had Judy take me some photographs of me holding a banana from both sides, from the bottom and from the top, and that gave me the direction on which way to go to carve that. So anyway, I went ahead, and this was just a perfect size for what I wanted, so I went ahead and I just traced around that for my blank here, and here's the blank. This is made out of some of this, I think it's ½ inch, let me find my here. Half-inch basswood planks that I bought from Heineke Wood Products, and it worked out just fine. Now, there's really only several areas you got to watch out for when you're carving this gun, when you're making it round, is the plate where the flintlock goes, flint mechanism, right there, the barrel, and this indentation right here. This is a little rod here they use to stuff the ball down the barrel. And you can see I cut that off. Well, I'll show you how we're going to handle that later on, all right? So carving this thing out is really quite simple, other than not much than just relieving all the corners and making it round. Now on the end here, you have to remember that the barrel is round. So it's going to be a little wider than that, but the top is going to be like the barrel. So okay, we'll just get to carving this thing. Okay, all right, so I'm not going to show you carving the whole thing. I'm going to carve a little of it, but then I'm going to let you figure it out. But first what I'm going to do is just draw on my plate where that mechanism goes. It comes up like that. It goes like that. Okay? So that's what we're working on. So basically you just start taking off the edge. Now see how that's splitting? When you see that, when you see a problem like that, just stop what you're doing and go back and go the opposite direction. See there? See how it doesn't split? Now we're lucky here. Sometimes on this side of the wood it would split the opposite direction, but this seems to be working in our favor. So up here on the end, start right there at the plate. Take a little off because we want to get it down just about the thickness of that barrel there, but not quite. On the other side, we don't have that problem. Let's see, do I have a picture? There you go. Here's the other side of the flintlock. There's nothing over there really, but just a reinforcing piece of metal, which you can barely see on this one. 2 screws inset into the wood that reinforces the piece of wood to hold all these mechanisms. So we're not going to worry about any real detail on this side. But we still have to thin down that barrel. So I'll just continue doing this and then we'll come back. Okay, I got my blank pretty well whittled to shape here, kind of rough. So I've drawn on my little plate here. There we go. Little plate there where everything sets. I'm just going to kind of relieve that. Don't have to do it much. You just want to indicate it. So it's like some chicken just laid an egg. It again. So there we've got our plate on there now. Now what we want to do is we want to figure out where the barrel is. So right there, right behind the pan, is where the barrel stops. So that is looking at this, about right there.
Can't see anything but
Right there's where the barrel stops, okay? So now what we want to do, find my little ruler here, see if I can do this, lay my little ruler on here, just about even with the top of that plate, and I'll hold that there and make a mark. Flip it over. Out a little better than the other side. Okay. So I'm going to take my little line and I'm going to just scribe a line across the top there. And right there where my mark is, I'm going to just follow that line as straight as I possibly can. Down to the end. You don't have to make it that deep. And then the same thing on the other side. Just follow that line. Like that. I'm going to shape this back just a little bit. Not a knot. Because I think if you looked at the top of the gun, it was going to be almost flush with the top edge of the wood. But we need some indication there that there's a... Now, remembering our split, I'm just going to take my knife and real carefully, because I don't want to go over, cut any of that wood off. Just kind of take a sliver off of here, like that. And I'll try to kind of smooth it out there. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to do the same thing here, and this side's kind of awkward because it's going the wrong way, so I'm going to try it this way first. Seems to be working so far in there. Now the split's coming into play. It never fails. Right here on the end, I'm going to cut the saw part off so it's clean. And this has a brass cap, goes over the wood part. So there, we got pretty well. We have a round barrel. So now what I'm going to do is drill a hole here very carefully. I'm going to drill a real small pilot hole first, and then I'm going to come back with an 1/8 inch drill, which is just about scale for 50 caliber, more or less. Okay? Okay, before we finish this, I want to show you the last part. We're going to put on the little brass piece here, right down there, the cleaning rod, stamping rod, or whatever it's called. Anyway, this is just brass. This is a little piece of brass rod, fluxing, welding flux. Low fuming bare bronze, okay? 3/32. That's what this piece is right here. And you can find this down at a farm supply or a welding supply store. It comes in various sizes. Like I say, this is 3/32. You can get it up to 1/8 inch and down even smaller than this here. But anyway, I went and I cut me a piece off here that's long enough that's going to work, and I've drilled me a matching hole right here, okay? And see that channel that the drill made as I was drilling that hole? What I want to do is I want to increase that channel. So this piece of brass lays in there. That looks pretty good. So this is too long naturally. I've already sanded this off flat there on the end, so I need to take a little bit off there, not very much. So I'll just snip off a little here. Lay that in there again. Still too much. You want it to come just behind the end of the barrel. You're getting close. One more ought to do it. There, that looks good. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I'm going to sand this all off so it's nice and clean, all right? Because I want it to be free of any dirt or rust, or, well, not rust, but any imperfection there. So when I put some glue on it, it's going to stick. Okay, I've got my little piece here. It's all cleaned up. This is activator for CA glue, so I'm just going to give that a squirt. What that does is that sets that glue off real quick. I'm going to lay my piece down in its spot right there. So I can keep from gluing my. This is really thin stuff. That's what you really want to use. Buy a bottle of this, and generally it stays pretty thin until you get down to about right there, and then it starts thickening up a little. And that's the time you want to go buy you a new bottle. Just put a little drop right there on the end, and one right there. And then just, it should go off real quick. Right, it's gone off. So there we go. We've got our basic pistol pretty well made. Now we're not going to get really super detailed here and put in all this other detail. I've got my hole in the end of the barrel there. It looks good. And I'll take my pyrotechnic pin and I'll burn around this plate and down along the barrel just to emphasize those lines. And then in the next video we'll start working on the mechanism. Okay? So that'll do it for this one, and I'll talk to you later.